Why do you need to be concerned about building working capital for your business? Should you even be concerned? Yes, you should be concerned about building working capital for your business. And this is what we dive into in this video. My name is Kersha Campbell. I'm a mom. I help everyday business owners like yourself who are struggling with overwhelm and frustration about the state of what's happening in your business, right? So you are overwhelmed about confusion, systems that are just not working, financial systems that are just confusing, they're just not effective. You're also concerned about cash flow. So it could be that more monies are leaving your business and coming in, you're in constant bank overdraft. There's, money management challenges. We dive into all of that together to help you turn all that to cash flow, growth in your business, wealth, and just so much more. So we help to put those money fires out, those money holes, find out where monies are leaking from your business and get it all fixed. So in this video, we talk about working capital. Why do you need to have working capital in your business? Does it really matter? Yes. So working capital, simply put, we're going to keep it as simple as we can. Working capital is basically those short-term funds that your business needs, short-term obligations, right? So it's a net impact of course, short-term funds that you're expecting to come in, as well as short-term funds you might need to pay out. So short-term obligations that you have, and also monies that are coming in the short term. So usually for the short term, it's within less than a year or less, right? That's usually the time frame when we talk about short term. So in the next year, what is it that you need to spend money on? What are going to be your obligations? What are those funds that you are expecting to come in? It is very, very important that you build your working capital, because you never know how things can turn around. There can be a contract goes haywire. It could be you were expecting this money coming in from debtors, they're not in. A lot of things can happen within the short term, within a year. So it is very good to be assessing what is really your position, at least within that year, a year or less. What is the real position that is going to be taking place in your business? What's the direction in terms of working capital obligation, working capital constraints? What is really happening? There are a lot of ratios that can be used to assess the strength of your working capital, and there are a lot of strategies to help you build as well. However, it is important that you understand the importance of what can happen. And I do know that, things can happen. You can have unexpected, situations, emergencies that take place. And that's not where, we are talking about situations that, of course, you can add a buffer in for just in case. But we all know just in case, it can go any direction for just in case. It could be, too high, too low, but at least you are cognizant and aware of your short term obligations. That is important, your working capital. So let's dive in a little bit more. So, what are your short term obligations in terms of payments that you might have? So, think about your suppliers, think about those persons, those expenses you're going to have to be paying. You might have a team on board. So there's payroll you might be outsourcing. So there are subcontractors, all that you might have to be considering about expenses, your bills. You dive into all of that. What is it looking like in the short term over the next few months up to a year? What is it that I'll have to be spending money on? What is it also that I'm expecting to come into the business in terms of monies coming in? Persons who owe me, other monies that you might come in. You might have payment plans on your sales, certain contracts. You might have cash coming in as well. So look at what are the amounts that you're expecting to come in. The net impact of that, right, is going to be what your working capital is going to be. And that is a very, 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 very important indicator of the strength of what is happening in your business. And of course, it connects to your cash flow as well. So definitely assess what is happening in your business. And we do know that situations change, circumstances do change. It's not carved in stone. However, it is very important as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, your eyes are on the working capital obligations of your business, of your several businesses. What is it that I'm going to be needing? What is it that we're going to be having to look at? Because as you know, it's important to be proactive and innovative when it comes to your business, because businesses are so dynamic. Things can just happen. You never know. It's just like you might have kids and you set out your day, this is going to happen. Things happen. Your child might get sick. You might have tantrums. You might have just a day where, it's just a day where you just need to probably just unwind and just chill with your children, and everything else is second that day. And that's okay. Things like that happen. The important thing is that you are prepared, right? So think of it, if your child gets sick, then you have to go to the doctor, the hospital. You have to shift a lot of, your former plans. You have to think about, I'm going to have to do this differently today. I might have to delay this. This is not as urgent anymore, right? And it has happened several, it keeps happening to me just the same, right? Because you just never know with when you have little ones. So, and it doesn't even have to be little ones, it could be your family members as well, or loved ones. Situations do take place in your business, in your life, where you have to shift. You might have to, change the strategy, change the direction. You never planned for this. However, you have to address it. So, in the same way, think about the worst case scenario. If it's a case where you had to pay all your short term obligations today, would you be ready? Right? That is probably just another simple way to look at it. If you had to pay, if you're called upon to pay all the creditors, if you're called upon to pay all the, all your team members or things like that, if you had to pay out a team member quickly, things like that, are you prepared? Would you be able to do that in your business, or would you be struggling? Would you have to be saying, okay, I need to set up a line of credit quickly. I have to take a loan out credit, you know, increase my credit card limit, or I have to get some funds injected into the business for myself as the owner or shareholder. So be cognizant of the fact that when you're in business, when you're operating your business, dynamics do change, situations change. You might have to change, pivot. That's okay. That's a normal part of business, a normal part of life. However, it is so important that you assess, if this happens, would I be ready? How strong is my working capital? And the good thing is that if you have not accumulated enough working capital yet, or you have not had none at all, it's a good time to start. So, you could start, as I said earlier, assessing what your short-term obligations are within a year, the amounts you owe other persons, and the amounts that you're expected to come in, to assess what your position is going to be, right? So I do encourage you to start setting up systems in your business processes to help you to start building your working capital. Again, it's a key indicator of how strong your business is, the foundation, how is your business able to withstand an event, just like when we had the massive lockdown for so many places worldwide earlier this year. A lot of businesses were struggling because they did not have that sufficient working capital. They didn't have sufficient working capital, or it wasn't there at all, and they struggled. Some persons sadly were out of business, and it breaks my heart, because I'm like, their skills, their presence, their business is so needed. It's impacting so many other lives. And, for this to have happened, the fact that their business is not existing up anymore, there's somebody else who lost a job, a family who was impacted. And, the snowball effect continues. So I do encourage you to remember the importance of why your business exists. Why are you doing it? It's not just about working to pay bills, but think about the greater reason, right? It might be to have vacations, it might be family, getting your skill set out there, and so much more. But definitely, your business is so important and vital. That is why you need to address it and look at it with such care and importance, and ensure that the strategies are set up accurately. So, if you have not started looking at your working capital, situation, what is it? I do encourage you to start building and looking at how is it that you can start that strategy, get going for having effective and strong working capital in your business. Signing off, this is Kersha Campbell, passionate about helping everyday business owners in the construction industry, contractors, trades, helping you, increase your cash flow, say goodbye to financial chaos, and so much more. So until next time, we'll be on again. Bye, guys.